good morning, everyone. Our prelude today is from the Teal hymnal, Vieni Spirito Creatore. Listen closely, because we'll be doing this for our first hymn. Unison twice, round twice. Ready?
Fabulous. Oh my gosh. Good morning. So nice to see you all today. My name's Kate. Welcome to this gathering of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Fayetteville. Unitarian Universalism is a liberal religious tradition that values freedom in religious thought and journey. We uphold the unity of our interconnections, connections to one another, to all of life, and to the precious universe of which we all are a part. We affirm the universality of love and hope as we journey together in community, and we welcome you, whoever you are at this moment, and wherever you are in your spiritual journey. For those of you joining us for the first time on Facebook, welcome. Please check out our website, which is uufayetteville.org, for more information and to sign up to receive our weekly email. You can always unsubscribe if you wish. For those of you visiting us for the first time in person, welcome. And in your seat back, you will find a white card like this. And we'd love for you to fill it out so that we can get you on our email list and keep you informed of UUFF happenings. If you already gave your name and contact information, don't worry about doing that again, because we've got it. But if you haven't yet, we welcome you to do that. There are also in the seat back yellow joys and concerns cards that look like this. And if you have a joy or a concern that you'd like to share, we invite you and welcome you to fill that out. There's a place to indicate if you want the joy or the concern to be kept confidential, shared only with leadership, or if it's okay to say it publicly. In a few minutes, you'll have the opportunity to bring the card up and to drop a stone if you'd like. You may also drop a stone even if you don't fill out a card. If you're watching on Facebook, you may write your joys and concerns in the comments at that time. But please note that those comments will be made public. And as always, a staff nursery is available downstairs for anyone who wishes to use it. And with that, Rev. Stephen has a few words for us.
Good morning. Although some of us don't like the word worship, sometimes we have this part of the service called call to worship. So here it is, written by Suzanne Van Drisser. Let us sing, I thought this would be appropriate for Choir Sunday. Let us sing the magic of imagination by which we know one another and learn the lives of eras gone by. Let us sing the magic of creation by which we build the world of our soul and teach its wisdom to others, young and old. Let us sing the magic of our lives together, holding and shaping the movement of breath from heart to lung, all new life that is to come. And there's a final line of this that is more for at the end of the service, so I will save it for then. But right now, I believe we have a chalice lighting.
Please join me in lighting the chalice. Love is the spirit of this community, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in truth, and to help one another. Thus do we covenant together.
Okay, so we're going to sing this opening hymn together. Repeat after me. Vieni.
Vieni.
Spirito. Creatore. We are going to keep this in Latin. If we were to translate this as the hymnal translates it into English or other languages, it sounds pretty religious. But as it stands in the Latin, Vieni Spirito Creatore, come spirit of creation. Come spirit, or spirit of creativity. So, Jory is going to lead you all on this side. I and the choir will lead you all on this side. We're going to break it up into 2 rounds. We'll sing it twice in unison and twice in a round. Okay? Let's rise as you are able in body or spirit.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, this is a good one. I dedicate this story to creators of art and people who are moved by art, which is pretty much everybody in here. This is Frederick by Leo Leone. All along the meadow, where the cows grazed and the horses ran, there was an old stone wall. In that wall, not far from the barn and the granary, a chatty family of field mice had their home. But the farmers had moved away, the barn was abandoned, and the granary stood empty. And since winter was not far off, the little mice began to gather corn and nuts and wheat and straw. They all worked day and night, all except Frederick. Frederick, why don't you work? They asked. I do work, said Frederick. It's speaking to some of you already, I can tell. I gather sun rays for the cold, dark winter days. Is that not art? That's art. Gathering sun rays for the cold, dark winter days. I mean, that's it. And when they saw Frederick sitting there staring at the meadow, they said, "And now, Frederick?" "I gather colors," answered Frederick simply, "for winter is gray." And once Frederick seemed half asleep. "Are you dreaming, Frederick?" they asked reproachfully. But Frederick said, "Oh no, I'm gathering words, for the winter days are long and many, and we'll run out of things to say." The winter days came, and when the first snow fell, the 5 little field mice took to their hideout in the stones. In the beginning, there was lots to eat, and the mice told stories of foolish foxes and silly cats, and they were a happy family. But little by little, they had nibbled up most of the nuts and berries. The straw was gone, and the corn was only a memory. It was cold in the wall, and no one felt like chatting. And then they remembered what Frederick had said about sun rays and colors and words. "What about your supplies, Frederick?" they asked. "Close your eyes," said Frederick, as he climbed on a big stone. "Now I send you the rays of the sun. Do you feel their golden glow?" And as Frederick spoke of the sun, the 4 little mice began to feel warmer. Was it Frederick's voice? Was it magic? "And how about the colors, Frederick?" they asked anxiously. "Close your eyes again," Frederick said. And when he told them of the blue periwinkles, the red poppies and the yellow wheat and the green leaves of the berry bush, they saw the colors as clearly as if they had been painted in their minds. "And the words, Frederick?" Frederick cleared his throat, waited a moment, and then, as if from a stage, he said, "Who scatters snowflakes? Who melts the ice? Who spoils the weather? Who makes it nice? Who grows 4-leaf clovers in June? Who dims the daylight? Who lights the moon? 4 little field mice who live in the sky. 4 little field mice like you and I. One is the spring mouse who turns on the showers. Then comes the summer who paints in the flowers. The fall mouse is next with walnuts and wheat. And winter is last with little cold feet. Aren't we lucky the seasons are 4? Think of a year with 1 less or 1 more." When Frederick had finished, they all applauded. "But Frederick," they said, "you are a poet." Frederick blushed, took a bow, and said shyly, "I know it." The end.
That's fabulous. So good. So now it's time for joys and concerns. As a diverse people, we share our various joys and concerns. Sometimes we're happy, and sometimes we're devastated. Sometimes we rejoice, and sometimes we mourn. In all of those times, we support and care for one another. So we invite you to share your ups and downs as you desire. You can come up to the front and drop a stone for any joy or concern, shared or confidential, expressed or held in your heart. As you drop your stone, may you experience the spread of loving and support. If you fill out a card, feel free to bring it up to me, and on the card, please indicate whether your comment is public or whether you'd prefer that it be kept confidential. Or, as an alternative, if you aren't able to bring it up yourself, just hold it up and there'll be somebody to come about and get it for you. And if you're attending virtually, you may write your joys and concerns in the comments section, and your comments will be public and shared. Thank you, Renee. And we drop a stone for joys and concerns not spoken. We drop another stone for joys and concerns we will experience in the coming week. And now we'll take a moment of silence as we hold these joys and concerns in our hearts. And now it's time for the offering. The important work of our fellowship is possible because of generous contributions of time, talent, energy, and money. Every contribution of every size is gratefully accepted, helpful, and appreciated. And as we pass the offering baskets, we invite you to share financially whatever you're able. If you prefer, you may also give online at uufayetteville.org or mail checks to our office. Thank you.
We are going to bring you a piece by Harry Belafonte, who is a friend of UU's all over the place. And his incredible piece, Turn the World Around, is in our teal hymnal. We'd like to sing that for you, as he has recently passed away, and we want to honor him.
That was awesome. What a beautiful service. Let's show our appreciation again for the choir. I love Choir Sunday. I love music in general. Music can be beautiful and uplifting and healing. So can other art. And this morning, let's spend a few minutes thinking about the healing power of art in various forms. First, let's consider personal health benefits of art. Last month, I attended the Big 12 LGBTQIA+ Summit. It's a conference hosted by Texas Tech University each year. I facilitated a session about how the creation and performance of music can play a healing role in the lives of musicians and their audiences. Now, I was quite early in that research project, and my session at the conference was more of an exploration than a report of findings. I presented a couple of concepts to help us interpret what we were about to experience, and then I showed a couple of videos of musicians, and we analyzed those two videos together. I'll come back to that. The art part of the concepts that I gave as interpretive lenses came from mass communication and art, those two fields. And the art part came from my colleague's presentation at the same conference. The previous day, Michael Hubbard presented. And Michael is an art professor whose office is right next to mine. at the college where I teach, and their presentation summarized their research into the health benefits of art and other creativity. They presented 4 benefits. First, drawing, doodling, coloring, and simply creating something for at least 20 minutes can reduce stress. Another benefit is increased self-esteem. Michael said that creativity makes us feel good about ourselves. It validates our unique ideas and our ability to turn ideas into something physical. The third benefit is physical healing. Michael reported that art can help process pain and provide a direct connection between the mind and body to help with the healing process. The final health benefit from Michael's presentation is that creativity can increase connection with community. Being involved in a creative group of some kind can improve our well-being, like the little poetry gathering we recently had in a small group here. Maybe you've experienced such personal health benefits of creativity. Maybe you've had a hard day and recovered by crocheting or knitting. Maybe you've processed difficult emotions through woodworking. Maybe you've experienced healing through other art forms, painting, sculpture, drawing, writing, singing, dancing. The list could go on. And there are other art forms that we might not always think of as art or creativity. Things like gardening and cooking. Just this week, I was in the Fayetteville Public Library and found a book called Baking by Feel. And it's so much fun. It explores baking as a way to experience our feelings more fully. If an activity uses our minds to create something that can share or reflect meaning, it's creative communication, also known as art. My go-to art form is writing. I stress the T so you don't think I say writing. I primarily write for speech preparation, and occasionally I dabble in poetry and essays. So I'm somewhat like Frederick. Sometimes when life gets hard, I turn to writing. Now, this was my second form of self-care as a child. My earliest strategy was a combination of silence and solitude with meditation and prayer. I would sneak away from chaos to have alone time. A little later, poetry joined the mix. My most healing experiences have been sitting outside with trees and water and wildlife with a journal in one hand and a pen in the other. After I delivered the eulogy in my dad's memorial service 4 years ago, people said things like, "That was great. I don't know how you could do that." I just thanked them, but inside I was thinking, it makes sense to me. Writing is a major part. Writing is a major way for me to process pain and other emotions. And speech preparation is part of that writing. Reflecting on the experience a little more now, I find that that part of my healing isn't just the writing element of speech preparation, but also the interactive event of speech delivery. This is helpful for me. Music is another art form that heals. One of the videos that I showed in my conference session last month was of Grammy-winning Kim Petras discussing some background of her song, "If Jesus Was a Rock Star." For Kim, songwriting is therapeutic. It helps her process religious trauma and other pain. In the video, she reflects on her childhood experience of being ostracized by religious friends whose religious communities didn't have room for trans children such as Kim. She says that if the Christian world of her friends had accepted people like her, she might have found a desire to be like Jesus. Now she might be interested if Jesus were a rock star. And she says that music has become her spirituality. And this seems true with musicians of every level and situation, not just Grammy winners. Fayetteville Skylar Conover. Skylar's professional bio says that she treats songwriting as therapy, allowing her to capture the emotions she is normally too afraid to voice. She hopes her music can help put into words what many in our community suffer silently. And that's a good transition for this speech. Skylar writes about music's benefit for herself, and then mentions a hope that her music will help others as well. In addition to the personal, individual healing power of art, there are communal benefits as well. The other video I showed in my conference session was the official music video of I'm Not Here to Make Friends from Grammy-winning Sam Smith. There's been a lot of public controversy about Sam, about what they should and should not do, about what is appropriate and inappropriate in their field, about what meanings and experiences are legitimate, about how a person is allowed to exist, perform, express, and otherwise communicate. Sam Smith pushes social boundaries in creative and challenging ways that resist and reshape cultural norms. After showing the video, I asked the audience, what cultural norms did this video resist or reshape, and how did it do so? Now, I had taught long enough that I was comfortably prepared for awkward silence at first, especially in that room where a lot of the people didn't know each other. But answers exploded immediately. What Sam and their colleagues were doing was obvious. And it was more than just pushing boundaries or being risque. It was challenging systemic injustice. It was resisting and reshaping who is and is not acceptable in public. It was a statement that minority experiences and perspectives are valid no matter what the people in power say to support the status quo. And this leads me to think of art in various social movements. I think of this poster by Micah Bazant and Candy Mossett that says, "No pipelines on indigenous land." The work contributed to a protest and is now on display at a museum in Santa Fe, New Mexico, so that its influence can continue. I think of this mural, Sueño de una tarde dominical en la Alameda Central. Dream of a Sunday afternoon at Alameda Central Park. It's a public painting by Diego Rivera, apparently with some assistance by Rina Lazo. And criticizing the status quo here, the mural shows rich people living under a dictator, so we're a little right of middle, and authorities, a little more to the right, are pushing away people who are not allowed. I know you don't have time to analyze that whole painting now. But it's an example of art playing a role in social movement and resistance, reshaping the status quo. I think of the I Am a Man memorial at the National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis. And this commemorates the sanitation workers' strike in that city in 1968. A strike that did not destroy racism, but did lead to needed change, at least some of it. And then there's the "we can do it" image that apparently was initially designed to encourage women working in a specific company, and later became a well-known symbol for women's rights. And movements for women's rights and queer rights and racial justice have collided in poetry. This early 1970s poem by Audre Lorde, whose influence continues today, challenges white-oriented racism. And to understand this, you need to know that Nettix was a restaurant. There are so many roots to the tree of anger that sometimes the branches shatter before they bear. Sitting in Nettix, the women rally before they march, discussing the problematic girls they hire to make them free. An almost white counterman passes a waiting brother to serve them first, and the ladies neither notice nor reject the slighter pleasures of their slavery. But I, who am bound by my mirror, as well as my bed, see causes in color as well as sex, and sit here wondering which me will survive all these liberations. And of course, there's Turn the World Around, a song from Harry Belafonte, a leader in the civil rights movement. Our choir let us sing it just a few minutes ago. 4 of the verses repeat the line, turn the world around. And I don't mean that line is in each verse, but in each verse it's repeated. I think it's at least 3 times. In the 5th verse, I think it's 4. It's repeated many times throughout those verses. The one verse that doesn't say that says this: do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Music, poetry, paintings, and so many other forms of art are creative communication, vehicles of self-expression that improve our individual health as well as the health of our society. And part of that social healing is understanding each other, acknowledging each other, respecting each other, and building reality together in ways that do not privilege the privileged over the marginalized. Creating art can be therapeutic for ourselves. Sharing art can benefit society, inspiring healing of broken systems. And simply being as a public artist of any kind, at any level of publicity, can be a bold statement. There's a statement that has been common in various movements. It says, our existence is our resistance. May it be so.
And our closing hymn today is number 1059, May Your Life Be As a Song. And it's another round, my favorite. So we'll go twice in unison, twice all together, and twice in a round. Jory will lead this section, and the choir and I will lead you all. Rise as you are able and body your spirit.
Serenade the stars that we dance. Please join me in extinguishing this flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you.
Wonderful. All right. So that's it for today. As we enjoy our postlude, feel free to... Oh, sorry. There are closing words. Enjoy those too.
I make mistakes sometimes. Yes, so the 20... I don't have my phone. So the 24th is the NWA Pride Parade. The Trans March is the previous evening. And the day after the 24th, Sunday the 25th, will be my last Sunday in this role. Not necessarily my last Sunday here, but my last Sunday in this role. And there have been some questions about that. You know, I made the announcement a few weeks ago, and we put it out in the e-newsletter, but it takes a while for things to disseminate, and sometimes things just turn into rumors. But I wanted to clarify. You know, I was working 2 jobs in 2 different states, and I thought a good opportunity would come up for me to live in just one of the places, but that hasn't happened so far. So I need to back out of one of them, and the other one's full time. So, but I love being with you. I just can't keep doing all the work. Let me close the speaking part with a continuation of that reading that I did earlier. Let us sing The Magic of Imagination by Susan Vendrieser. The part that I already read was, let us sing the magic of imagination by which we know one another and learn the lives of eras gone by. Let us sing the magic of creation by which we build the world of our soul and teach its wisdom to others, young and old. Let us sing the magic of our lives together, holding and shaping by the movement of breath from heart to lung, all new life that is to come. And now here's the part that I omitted earlier. Go now with singing. Go now with magic in your fingertips. Touch this world with life. And now, as we enjoy the postlude, let's have some conversation and/or refreshments.
Oh, friends, one more
yes.
thing. Before we go, I have to share with you that many of you know Jean Van Zandt, and today is Jean's 60th birthday. So I thought we might sing about it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jean. Happy birthday to Okay, so the postlude's going to be Turn the World Around. Y'all are welcome to do whatever you want to do or sing along or whatever. Okay.